What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are here in Charleston, South Carolina with Hyundai taking a drive in the all-new 2024 Hyundai Kona. This particular one, really nice spec, finished in the ultimate red. This one is the N-Line, so it's the sporty version. It's got the H-track all-wheel drive system. So let's go ahead and take a full look and then take it for a spin, see what the new Kona is all about. Now, underneath the hood, you're gonna find that 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It pumps out 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. This also has a new 8-speed automatic transmission. It also runs on a 13.2 gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at around 24 miles per gallon in the city with 29 out on the highway. The overall curb weight is just under 3,500 pounds, and being the all-wheel drive, it actually has 8.3 inches of ground clearance. Now the wheelbase is 104.7 inches, and overall this is about 6 inches longer than the previous generation Hyundai Kona. However, once we get into the interior, it has more interior space, even bigger than the competition, which might be larger. So really cool compact package with a lot of fantastic space. Now let's move to the styling, which is super cool. First thing you're gonna notice is this massive LED trim light going around this entire front end. It looks so cool in person. It'll light up in the white color and just looks super futuristic. The beautiful paintwork just comes down and cascades over the front end, and it's super aerodynamic. When Hyundai designed this design, they actually envisioned this for an EV. So this has very futuristic electric car kind of vibes, super aerodynamic the way it cascades down. Got some nice satin black throughout the trim, and I like the use of gloss black throughout the entire grille. And I like how there's active grille shutters to improve efficiency and aerodynamics when needed. Massive grille opening for your intercooler, and then the headlights are actually these massive chunks on the side, very nicely integrated into this front bumper. You can see the LED high beam and low beam. We do have a halogen turn signal down below that, but it's very nicely integrated. You got a nice front splitter down below that, and wrapping it up, a nice aluminum color Hyundai logo right on this hood, and it's just so seamless. Got sharp lines cutting towards that windshield. I think it's pretty cool. You don't see a car that looks quite like this out on the road. At the side profile, the Kona always has had this cladding around the front and rear fender arch. You're gonna see body colored for the N-Line, which gives it a more classy and performance-focused vibe. And then you're gonna see these new set of 19-inch wheels. You got the N logo in the center, really cool diamond cut with a metallic gray. And these tires, very unique for the car. These have sound deadening inside them. So when we test drive this car in a little bit, you're gonna notice some nice improvements over the previous generation. Now you can see some corner lights on it, and then really sharp lines fading towards the entire side profile. Now, part of the design, you're gonna see a Z shape with this huge line going through it. So it just gives it kind of that modern Hyundai look to it. And you're also gonna see how this trim piece kind of blends into that line as well. Down below, we have some more aggressive body lines in the lower portion of these doors, some plastic trim as well. And then you can see how the taillights match the headlights, given just how integrated they are into these fender flares. Now in back, the N-Line gets a massive roof-mounted spoiler. You can see the lights illuminating down below here as well, which is gonna match what you saw for that headlight. So it's just a really cool, unique design. But you got a shark fin antenna up on top as well. And then as we go down below, you can see the Hyundai and Kona logo, got your H-Track 1.6 badge, and then the rear diffuser for the N-Line gets a lot more aggressive, dual exhaust tips as well, backup camera of course, and some nice gray trim. Overall styling, it is super cool, especially just the lighting on the front and the rear gives it something super unique. And definitely is a nice upgrade from previous generations. It's just a fun SUV, something you're gonna be driving in the city, but if you wanna get out, have a fun weekend, this is kind of the SUV for that. Now, let's take a look at this interior. Take a look at this door panel. You're gonna see some soft touch vinyl material. You also have a nice dark color on the release handle, all of your simple controls, grab handle, armrest, and a little bit of storage. And you're gonna get power seats. You're gonna see all those controls on the left side of the driver's seat. Then as you make your way up, you can see the combination of alcantara along with the black leather. It's a really sporty looking seat. And if I go ahead and hop into it, there's a lot of really good adjustments. So I can lower this down quite a lot and even raise it up. And at 5'11", I'm sitting in here very nice, great view out the windshield. And then all the glass around me just makes it super easy and convenient just to drive this car super easily. Now let's take a look at this interior. Let's fire it up. We do have standard push button ignition. There's a sunroof up on top as well. Steering wheel finished off in the leather. You're gonna see perforated leather and then a cool design in the center. There's no Hyundai logo or anything, so we just have some silver trim. And then I like all the red stitching and that N badge. We have controls on the right side for Bluetooth and audio, cruise control over on the left with your forward pacing, lane keeping, and steering assist. And then we also have this pages icon. And you can see this screen right here. You can see your compass, and then if I toggle over, you'll have some radar cruise control items, and then a few different trip information, MPG, and things like that will pop up. Of course, you can see that tachometer and the speedometer, and when I change the drive mode, you get a really cool depiction just showing you a cool icon. Now we also have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, and right here is your drive select. So this P button right here is for park. With your foot on the brake, if you twist this forward, that's drive. That'll be reverse, and then going back into park. So let's go ahead and take a look at the screen now. So like I said, 12.3 inch screen. You're gonna see a huge navigation setup, home icon as well, kind of what you would expect for modern Hyundais. However, this is their newest system. So this shortcut design, you can see navigation, Sirius, you have your phone integration, memos, weather, all sorts of other items. We have setup as well. You can see all sorts of different controls in here. Going under general, you can see a few things you can easily change. So there's a lot of configurability to it. I just like the way they've done it. If we scroll from the top, we can turn the display off. We can adjust settings for navigation, quiet mode, things like that, illumination. So very easy to use, just a nice user interface. If I tap the guest icon, you can get profile settings and a few other items. Now let's go back to that backup camera. On the Limited, you're gonna get a 360 camera. So for this one, we just have a standard backup camera, nice in HD. You are at least able to get a top-down view, and then more of a surround view for full screen. You have a few settings on that as well. Back into park, let's take a look at all these controls. So we have shortcuts down here for your home and map. Of course, once you tap them, it pops right up on the screen, which makes it very convenient and easy to use as expected. Hazards, media controls, setup icon you can toggle, get into that same screen. And then climate controls are super easy. We have all of your different zones with this toggle switch, dual zone temperature, AC sync, front and rear defrost. Then we have our recirc and auto. You got a nice plastic material, and I really like how there's this red trim for the N-Line. You're gonna see it going from all these air vents into the right side of the dashboard. And there's even storage space all under here, which you can fit a phone, a few items, maybe some snacks or granola bars while you're out on the road. And then we have a pretty good sized glove box as well. Now down in the center, we have a lot of different USBs right there front and center. You can push this, you got a 12 volt. We do have wireless phone charging and good storage, heated seats, a shortcut to your parking. There's that drive mode select that you just toggle left and right. This even has a center locking differential for the all-wheel drive. Now something very cool for this new Hyundai Kona, this center console, they really wanted to make this roomy and practical. So of course you have a little storage right here. This is also removable, and check this out. This is just empty storage space. This piece is also removable, and they have their very cool cup holders that will fold away just to give you a lot more storage, so you don't just have fixed cup holders. Press those buttons and they are back. So they really wanted to give you just an open interior. Of course, that sunroof, controls, dome lights are all on top, thin frameless mirror, and it's a pretty nice place to be for sure. Seats are comfortable, nicely padded and everything. Now, the back seat, there are some cool things going on for the back of this Kona. Now, in the back seat of this Hyundai Kona, like I mentioned, this isn't the biggest car out there. It's a lot shorter than its competitors. This has class-leading interior space. This is actually the roomiest of its competitors, even if it is a shorter car. Cool thing, the way they designed these driver seats, they made these a lot slimmer using high-strength steel to make them more durable and obviously safe. But look at all this legroom. This is the seat that myself, 5'11", sit in comfortably driving all day, and I have maybe 3 inches of knee room. My feet fit fine, and these seats have 2 different ways. You can pull it back and latch it about 2 inches farther in recline. A full-grown adult sitting back here in a small compact SUV, this is pretty impressive. So good armrest, good glass visibility all around me, and right in the center, if we pull this down, look at that. We have armrests and 2 cup holders. And my favorite thing, not only do we have USB ports and storage, there are air vents back here with more of that red trim. A lot of vehicles do not give you air vents back here, which I think is a really, really big mistake. So air vents, I mean, there's storage, pretty much anything you need, and plenty of comfort back here. It's a really good, family-focused even, small SUV. Now the seats themselves, just like the front, you got all this alcantara throughout it. It's all perforated on the base. Then you're gonna see these smooth black leather all along the upper section, and the headrests even have red stitching. Grab handles up above with your dome lights. Really, really impressive back seat. Now, let's take a look at the cargo area. There is a cool hidden aspect. Now, we have a button back here. This is manual for the N-Line. The Limited will get you a power folding one. Coolest thing about this, we have our cargo cover, which I like in a lot of vehicles just to give you that privacy. If you happen to have backpacks or something in here, you don't want people seeing what you have. Could also use this as storage. The cool thing is, for people who may not use it every time, check out these little protrusions on the bottom side, as well as this piece right here. This is actually designed where I can lock it into place. And look at that, it is locked out of the way. If you have bulkier items that are gonna go up to the glass, maybe you're moving, got pillows, bedspread or whatever, you don't have to worry about this getting in the way, or where do I put this? Do I throw it in my garage? Am I gonna lose it? You can stow it away nicely. Now you have a low load floor as well, actually lower than a lot of the competition, so it makes it a lot easier to use this as a utility vehicle. We can even open this up. We have a spare tire and the window sticker. So this car, $33,700. Not too crazy for being at the top of the trim. And now let's take a look if we pop these down at the back seats folded down. So we can just move this down even. You can grab these levers and easily fold them down from the back. Now from the side, you can also grab these, lower them down, and you're gonna see all that storage space in the back with flat folding seats. So this is really practical. I mean, you can fit quite a lot of storage, a lot of items in here, which is nice to see. You know, this isn't the biggest SUV out there, so it's nice to see how practical it is. And then one last walk around of it. I think it is now time to take it for a spin. We got a really cool scenic road to drive on. So let's go for a spin. All right guys, so we are setting off in the all new 2024 Hyundai Kona. So I've driven this basically all morning. Mike's gonna be driving the Limited later in today to get his idea on that one. So far, this is a pretty nice compact SUV. Now, we have had the old Konas before. We had a true N version and then I believe a normal trim level. You can tell the refinements are definitely a lot better. This feels a little bit smoother, a little bit quieter, a little bit more like mature, I would say, in like the build quality. It feels like a nice step up. You know, Hyundai went over a lot of the things they've changed with this model, and you can definitely sense that. Just the way it's been put together, the tires, new insulation in the floorboards. They've made it to where I believe the interior cabin decibel is like almost 2 decibels lower, to where this is kind of in the next league up as far as interior refinements and the noise level. So it shows, you know, when you're driving this, it doesn't feel like just a cheaper SUV. It feels like a pretty nice, relatively affordable SUV. And a lot of that will translate over even into a base model, which is obviously much less than this one. Driving dynamics, you know, we are in, let's see, normal mode we'll start in. It's pretty normal. The 8-speed automatic does a really good job delivering power. It's smooth. You don't really feel anything. It's just a comfortable car. If we turn it into sport mode, those gauges are super neat. Tapping the paddle, we can now shift. It even does show you on the gauge cluster your gear that you're in. It's pretty peppy too. You know, it's not a fast car, obviously. It doesn't even have 200 horsepower. However, we've been averaging over 30 miles per gallon, and that's with me driving. Which I like to put my foot down a little bit. But it seems like kind of just that fun little SUV. You can dart around town. It's super easy to maneuver. And that's kind of the whole idea with the Kona. This is supposed to be a city SUV for someone who just needs it to be easy to drive around. But you can take it out on the weekends, floor it if you want to, get up to speed, and you can just go on a weekend trip. The ground clearance also, it's over 8 inches of ground clearance for the all-wheel drive model, to where this is something, a true utility vehicle. You can use this, go off-road, not to say you're gonna go off-roading with it, but you can go on off-pavement circumstances, whether you're going on a hike or something, a trail, where you need to go where it's not paved. So this is a very useful vehicle. It doesn't break the bank, fun colors, cool designs, and I think the biggest thing is the fact that when you're driving in it, it's actually comfortable and nice. It's not too loud, great visibility, left and right shoulder, and it seems like a pretty well put together car. Now the infotainment and everything, also pretty easy to use while driving. The nav screen even pops up right here with the home menu right there, so it makes it a little bit easier just to see that if you need to make another adjustment. It's not too far of a reach or anything like that, so it's a pretty user-friendly interface, and it looks nice in the car too. The graphics all are nice, the HD display, full screen nav works really well as well. And like I said, the comfort level, you can get into a really good seating position. I'm 5'11", I have, oh my gosh, like that much headroom, which is pretty wild. So I think you could be really short or really tall, and you're not gonna feel cramped. And the interior improvements they've made with sizing, I think really goes a long way, to where you can just kind of lounge out, stretch out, and you're not cramped. I've been in some smaller, like small hatchbacks, small sedans, SUVs. I'm not the biggest person in the world, not the tallest either. However, I've been cramped in some small cars where my knees just get bent and uncomfortable. I've been driving this, it's 12:47 right now. I've been in this car for 3 hours driving around town, driving on the highway, and it's been perfectly fine. Road noise, wind noise, very well insulated, much better than previous gens, and overall, it's just a nice place to drive. Well, I think that is then it for the all-new 2024 Hyundai Kona N-Line. This is a really cool, sporty version. Same power plant and everything that you're gonna find in the Limited. So as of right now, there's no true N version, which hopefully they come out with that extra power, the extra fun factor. But this is a sportier looking car. It's basically a full appearance package, interior and exterior, and it's a really cool combination. But that is it for the 2024 N-Line. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.